Hello, my Livy loves. This is Dr. V, and I am back with you today with a new pick a card or pick a pile reading. This is based on the feedback that I got from you from our last reading. Thank you so much. You guys gave me such great feedback on that one that was called Am I on His Mind? And so today it's going to be what are urgent messages that your love, your twin flame, your soulmate, labels really don't matter. All that matters is the love that you have in your heart, right? So your divine masculine or divine feminine, what do they urgently want you to know that they may not have been able to communicate with you at this time because you may be struggling or in some form of little to no contact? So what I did today is actually I picked out 3 goddesses from the Goddess Guidance Oracle, and it's interesting because they all came up as F's. So I find that to be a really interesting synchronicity here. So let's get into what your choices are in terms of which pile do you feel the most guided to. So your choice number 1 is Diana, focused intention. Keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target and you will make your mark. So see if you feel guided towards Diana. Now, of course, be gentle with yourself here. You don't have to pick just one. You can pick 1, 2, or all 3 of them as well, because all we want you to do here is to take the messages that resonate for you and leave the rest. So your choice number 2 here is Mott, and she is all about fairness. This situation will be handled in a fair and just manner. So go ahead and see if you feel guided towards Mott as your goddess today, or Ostara, fertility. It is the perfect time for you to start new projects, access new ideas, and give birth to new conditions. So there you have it. You have your focused intention, fairness, and fertility with the goddess Diana, the goddess Mott, or the goddess Ostara. So if you are new to this channel, I just want to give you a big warm virtual hug and let you know that I'm so happy that you're here. If you're already a member of the Live Tarot family, you know how much I love you. Thank you so much for being part of this incredible community. It is truly my passion and purpose to be here with you, and I love every minute of it. Also, make sure that you leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of your reading, what your feedback is. I love hearing from you, and I do read every message and try to respond to as many as I can. So now, without further ado, let's get into our reading with group number 1. All right, group number 1, who chose Diana, focused intention. Welcome to your reading. Now, this is going to be all about what urgent messages from him to you, right? What does he or she urgently need for you to know about how they may be thinking and feeling about this connection, as well as where it is that they would like to go with this connection. What are their desires, right? So here we have the 8 of Pentacles, the Chariot, and Temperance. Okay, so here's some beautiful energy coming through already. So what I'm feeling here is that your beloved, your twin flame or soulmate, they really want you to know that they have been feeling really out of balance lately. They have not been feeling like themselves, okay? But the good thing about this, though, is that they are trying their best to come back to themselves and to you. So there's definitely some major spiritual lessons that your love is going through right now, because look, we have 2 major arcanas here. So major spiritual lessons here with the Chariot and the Temperance card. So this tells us that one of the urgent messages that your love has for you is that he has definitely felt out of balance. And he has felt that at some point in the past, I would say at least a few months now, that he feels like he's been losing a bit of control on the direction that his life is taking. And as a result, it's really affected your connection. It's really affected your relationship because he has felt so out of balance in his energy. And I feel that, when we are really in love with somebody and we are so connected to them at every level, whether it's the spiritual, the emotional, the intellectual, the physical level, right? It's very hard when your partner is out of balance, right? It's very hard for us to also stay in balance because, we are so connected with their energy. We're so connected deeply to one another that oftentimes when our partner is feeling out of balance, we do as well. Like it's kind of an overflowing of that shared energy. So I can totally see here that if, you watching this video, you may also, because of your partner's energy here, you may also have been feeling out of balance yourself. Like you may have been struggling to kind of, come back into some sort of a stable place where I feel very much that there's been a lot of emotions, heightened emotions going on here. So I feel that the struggle has been real and it definitely has been mirroring between the two of you. So it's like as he has come out of balance and I feel that at some point you were feeling really good about this connection. It was going very well. But as he kind of slowly shifted out of balance in his own life and in his own energy, you started feeling the same way. And that's the really sad thing about this, is because I feel that you were doing quite well until he started going out of balance, until he or she, like your love, they started going out of balance. It's like you really felt that it disrupted the flow that was going on between the two of you, because there was a lot of beauty. There was a lot of really good energy that was flowing between the two of you, and you felt that it got very disrupted by your love feeling very off in some way. Okay, so what's important here that they want you to know, and this is where I feel like it's really very hopeful, it's very motivating and exciting, because I feel that what he wants you to know is, yes, I have been very, very off. No, it's not because of you. I do feel that certain things in my life have really gotten me out of balance. I feel for some of you, it really has to do with your love's career, business, or some form of financial situation. That's for some of you, not for all of you. But I feel like there's a special message there for some of you where it's like the person that you are in love with, one of the things that they have a little bit of pride, self-respect, right, about is that they find it a bit embarrassing to share if they are going through some sort of financial strain, especially if this is your divine masculine. It's like he wants you to see him as your hero. Like this is how he wants to be looked at in your eyes. Like he wants you to see him as a strong masculine who can take care of himself and who can take care of everybody he loves, whether they need it or not, right? Like it's like you are an empowered feminine, you know how to take care of yourself, but coming from that DNA of masculinity, right? Something that is profoundly programmed into the masculine DNA. He is a protector, he is a provider, he is a hunter, right? This is where, the masculine energy has always come from, since even times of like when man just started becoming man, right? So I feel like there's something in here where it's like your masculine particularly because he may have been struggling financially. Either he may have lost his job, or he may have had to switch jobs, and he doesn't feel that great about the new job that he's had to take, or he may have, just kind of seen a rapid decline in his income. And it made him feel very insecure, and it made him feel that he needed to really hustle to make up for that money, because again, he's very embarrassed. Like, he doesn't want to look like he is weak. He doesn't want to look like he is having financial trouble, because he wants you to see him as this hero. He wants you to see him as somebody who can always take care of everything that needs to be taken care of. So this is something that he has been secretly struggling with. And I think, like I said, this is for some of you, maybe not for all of you. For the rest of you, I feel like there's another issue here where it's like he also urgently wants you to know that he is trying his best to get out of this situation. And so he feels that with this 8 of Wheels or 8 of Pentacles, it's like two levels here. On the one hand, it's about him very focus, like him having a lot of focus and very, very clearly working on building up his own stability. Again, the stability and the balance that he kind of has lost because of this Temperance right here, right? So it's like he needs movement forward. And so it's like he is, doubly wanting to tell you that he is working on his stability, his finances, his career, maybe even his business. He may be even starting a side business to add more income, but that he's also extremely focused on working on your connection as well. As in with this 8 of Pentacles, I love that it can have that energy, right? It can have the energy of somebody who is diligently and really, putting in a lot of effort and a lot of motivation into their work. But it also tells me that he is equally motivated to rebuild this connection as well, because he feels that this connection may have kind of lost some of the momentum that it had, right, with this Chariot's energy. So one of the urgent messages that he also has for you here is that he also knows and realizes that before he kind of went out of balance here, that you guys were moving towards something good with this Chariot's energy. You guys had some really good momentum going. You guys had good flow. You guys were getting along. There was a lot of love. There was a lot of fun. There was a lot of great conversations. Like, you really felt that momentum, that flow, that real building of this beautiful energy between the two of you. And he wants you to know that he realizes that that kind of came to an abrupt end, where it's like he just may have withdrawn because he was so disturbed by some of these other things in his life that kind of went off balance. And so he wasn't able to give you that kind of attention, the kind of focus that he wants to. But the lovely thing about this is that he is on his way back into that energy. He's trying very hard. He's working, he or she, they are working very hard to bring that movement back. And I love this Chariot's energy for your love connection, because it also tells us that how hard are they working to really come back to you and be the way that they were before. So let's go deeper here. See, isn't this lovely? Sacred journey, unawakened. Here are some specific messages. What would they say to you if they could? Oh my gosh, look at this. See what I mean by you guys were really in the flow. And look at this creation. See, plus this is your final guidance from Spirit, which we're going to get to at the very end here. So absolutely, see, with this Chariot and this sacred journey, I mean, this is so beautiful. See, so your masculine, one of the other urgent messages that he has for you is, I'm sorry, I keep saying masculine, I meant feminine as well. They, masculine or feminine. So I apologize, guys. Please just do know that these are energies, so you use them as they work for you. So your love, they are definitely on a sacred journey with you here. It's like they really want to be on this journey with you. Like they consider you their partner. They consider you their little kind of partner in crime, right? Like you guys are going to get into this adorable, you know, car and just drive off into the sunset one day, right? When everything settles down and when you're ready. And I feel like, you know, they really do feel very much that they're on a sacred journey with you. And, you know, one of the things that I think is so beautiful about this is that what you inspired in them is the creation of something more. And this is so important because they feel that before they met you, they were really unawakened to what deep connection could be like, to what like real intimacy and depth and meaning and just, you know, the beauty of a relationship that works, you know, of a relationship that feels effortless, that doesn't feel like you have to be constantly like, you know, like that heaviness, right? So I feel like until things started going wrong, there was a lot of that free flowing, effortless feel that you guys were really enjoying. And it's something that you really did create together. And that is something that your love really appreciates about you. They feel that they were unawakened, right? Unawakened before meeting you, and that you opened their eyes, right? You created something really special with them. You were able to complement them in a way that nobody else has. And that is why, see, even though they may have stepped back or they may be, you know, kind of distracted right now, look at these messages. My heart always comes back to you, even when I don't want it to. And I still have dreams about you and our happy times together. So see, it's so interesting because I feel like they have been really struggling with their focus, right? Trying to focus on building up some of these issues, you know, kind of like, you know, fixing some of these challenges and, finding solutions to some of these problems that they've been distracted with. But see, their heart always comes back to you, even when they don't want it to, as in even as, you know, as they're trying to work these things out, it's like you are always there. Your energy is always there. They dream about you. They feel and relive the happy times, those effortless times that you had together, you know, when you were on this beautiful journey together, which they do want again, because look at this in terms of where this connection is going and what they want you to know. See, your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment, engagement. So this is the thing. It's like, you know, they urgently want you to know that they have had to step back for a bit here to bring themselves back into balance, but that doesn't mean that they don't love you, and that it's almost like they have slowed down in order to speed up. Have you heard that saying? It's been going around a lot lately. Slowing down in order to speed up. As in, sometimes you just kind of have to slow things down, regroup, get yourself back in the driver's seat here if you feel like you've kind of lost control of things. And then as you come back into the beauty of the connection, as you come back into feeling like yourself again, you kind of fix some of these challenges, deal with what may be, you know, going wrong, that now you can really speed up. You can speed up this connection and take it to the next level. Oh, I love it. It really is all about slowing. For you guys, it's really all about slowing down in order to speed up, in order to really go where you want to go. So let's take a look here at your final guidance from Spirit. Oh, Sun Goddess. I celebrate each sunrise and recognize the healing energies of the sun. So this is beautiful. I feel like this is, you know, Goddess Spirit, your guidance telling you that just keep yourself in the light. I know it's hard. Sometimes it's easy to feel down because, you know, your partner has been down, right? Because we talked about that sharing of that energy. Sometimes it's difficult. But I think what Spirit is trying to say here is just keep yourself in the light of the sun, in the warmth, in the love, in the light. Don't let yourself go cold. Don't let yourself get down. Keep in that blissful energy. And of course, going outside and walking in the sun is also a very good thing. It will definitely help you. Okay, so Thank you so much for being here. If you would like to have a personal reading with me or order any of the oracle decks that I've created, especially for all of you who are on this journey, the links to all of that is in the box below. If you liked this reading, please make sure you also leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And of course, subscribe. So thank you guys so much for being here. Love you guys. I'll see you on the next video. Welcome, my beautiful group 2 who chose Mott and Fairness. Welcome to your reading. So we are looking at what are your love's urgent messages for you, things that they are thinking and feeling that they may not have been able to communicate with you. What do they really want you to know? So we have the 7 of Swords. We have, wow, the 10 of Cups. We have the Knight of Swords. All right. Okay, so we're going to start right there with your tarot. Wow. Okay, so what I'm feeling from your person here is that they have a hard time with being in their headspace energy. They really struggle and with their emotions. And so what happens is that they may be feeling one thing, but they communicate something else sometimes, you know, as in like I feel like there's something in the way your love was raised, or in their kind of formative years, in the way that they've had certain kinds of experiences in their life, which have made them much more kind of conducive to thought over emotion. Okay, so they kind of rely on their mind more than they follow their heart. Okay, so let me say that again. They rely on their mind, what their mind tells them, over following their heart. But what I'm feeling here is that they've realized that that hasn't worked well for them when it comes to your connection. So one of the urgent messages that they have for you here is that they want to let you know that they actually regret the things that they may have said and done to you in haste. So see, there's another issue here coming through where it's like your person also tends to be very reactive. Okay, with this Knight of Swords, I just feel that your love, either you're masculine or feminine, they tend to have a reactive personality, and they tend to kind of like blow up easily, and then they regret it. And what's interesting about this energy though is that, you know, this is one of those people who has a very sweet innocence about them, as in they are more bark than bite. You know what I mean? It's like, you know how they say like, oh, this person has more bark than bite, and I've always seen that as like, okay, they don't mean to be vicious, they are not mean-spirited, they're not bad, they're not evil, they're actually really, really good people, but they tend to have a bigger bark than other people, as in when they react, they tend to kind of say a lot, mouth off. But what happens is that they tend to say a lot of things they don't mean in the heat of the moment, and then they regret it because that really wasn't them. So they struggle with, like I said, being more in their mind, right? So and oftentimes they also have a hard time with that filter mechanism, you know, like we all have different levels of how we kind of filter what our thoughts and feelings are with our relationships, right? Like we know that with certain people you have to be careful in certain ways, or like we want to be diplomatic. I feel like your person, they're much more blunt. Okay, they're much more blunt, they're not diplomatic. But the good part of this, and what I think is helpful here, is that they are blunt in the sense that at least you know where you stand with them, okay? At least you know where you stand. Because you know how sometimes some people are very diplomatic, so they, you know, they're very sweet on the outside. They could be charmers. They could be very well spoken, right? But you never really know where you stand with them because you don't know what they may turn around and do next. And so, and I'm not saying that everybody who's diplomatic is like that, but I feel like there are definitely people who have that ability or they have that propensity when it comes to relationships where they're very diplomatic. They're not going to openly hurt your feelings, but you don't know. Sometimes their actions may speak louder than their words. Whereas here, I feel like your person, they can be really blunt. They can have a big bark. They can kind of hurt your feelings in the moment, but the bite is not there, as in they're not going to be at like deceptive. See, with the Seven of Swords energy, like this is the energy of kind of being in hiding and kind of being deceptive and kind of like, you know, like stealing away. But I feel like with your person, this energy is more about their like how difficult it is for them to express their emotions. So what they do is they'll like mouth off. They'll like be openly kind of like, you know, blunt. You know, they'll tell you like it is, right? They're not gonna like they're not going to hide you know, what they think, but they tend to hide the softness of their heart. That's the thing. And so I feel like their urgent message for you is that they want you to know, look, I know I may talk a lot of big game here, okay? I may talk a lot of shit here. Like I talk a big game sometimes. Like I know that I can be really blunt. I know that I can, you know, I've hurt you with my words. I know that I've been sometimes mean, but deep down inside, I'm so sorry. I don't mean it that way. I hope that you understand me at a deeper level and you know that I'm a good person. I'm not a bad person, but I have a hard time expressing how deeply I feel for you with these emotions that I have for you. So with this Ten of Cups, it's like they want you to know urgently that with this, beneath these two energies that seem to be kind of on the surface with them, where they kind of like really quickly react, really quickly just like talk a big game, talk a lot of shit, try to hide their feelings, try to, you know, like that within all of that, deeper within that, they truly love you and they truly see an incredible future with you. See, Ten of Cups. It's like, so they urgently want you to know that they have never felt as emotionally satisfied with anybody before you. And then you are the person that they feel the deepest, most profound, most beautiful emotional satisfaction with, and that is their truth. Okay, so beneath all of this other kind of layers of almost like you know, theatricality, it's like, is that even a word? Like they're very theatric, right? They can be very theatric because with this Knight of Swords energy, they're like fast moving energy. They come in, they come out, they run here, they run there, they, you know, they react this way, they say this, they're blunt, they're this, they're that. Like it's like all this like theatrics, right? But I feel like all of those theatrics are hiding their truth, which is you are the one. You are the one, no matter what, no matter how they act, no matter how fast they turn, no matter how fast, as in like they go running and this and that and all the different crazy things that they may say or do in that fast moving energy, because I feel like this is a very energetic person. This person has a lot of energy. They're very dynamic. But again, they focus on their mind, where their mind takes them. They focus on their words, right? Like in terms of like they, you know, kind of like their words often hurt. Their words are often fast, right? Their filter is not there. But beneath it all, they have a heart of gold. And that heart of gold beats only for you. I love that. It's so sweet, so sweet. So, okay, let's go deeper. Perception, observe. Wow. Here are their messages for you. Oh my gosh, see? There you go, reconciliation. I love that. Oh, action, beautiful. And then here is your final message from Spirit. So see, this is what I mean. See, it's all perception, right? Like, so this is the thing. It's like the perception of who they are, how they are perceived by you is something that they're a bit afraid of. So another urgent message that they have for you is that they are afraid that you may have perceived them incorrectly or are misunderstanding their true intentions, right? You may have stepped back, because in this connection, I'm feeling that if you are in some form of separation, or if you've stepped back from it, like maybe you kind of like, you know, in some sort of like a minimal or like less contact lately, I'm feeling that the stepping back may have come from you more than from this person, because I feel that they may have said something or, you know, kind of done something that was really, really like a bit too much. Remember how we said that they're very theatrical, right? So they may have said something bluntly to you that really put you off. And I wouldn't be surprised if it did, because that's how blunt they are. And again, I said, like, you have to decide, like, is that okay with you? I mean, you know, if you love somebody, it's like, you know, you have to decide, like, are you willing to live with that? Is that something that you can deal with? Because if you know for sure that your love is blunt in words, but they have that heart of gold and they love you to death, then you may have to just adjust to that. But it's going to be about how you perceive them, and that is what they're most concerned about. Okay, they're really scared that you may perceive them in the wrong way, especially if you are not speaking to them right now because of something that they said, or in some, you know, some way in which they were blunt, right? So I feel like right now what they're doing is they're kind of like running scared. They're like observing you. They may be watching you on social media. They may be hoping for a message from you. They may even kind of send you one little message to see what kind of response they get. Don't be surprised if you open up the door to them again, and, you know, want this reconciliation, that they, like, you know, start speaking much more sweetly to you. They want to become much more conscious. I feel like they're really afraid of losing you in the long term. As in, I feel like there's something that here that both of you know that you'll probably get back together. Like, you know, because like there's a lot of love here, right? There's a lot of love. Like with this 10 of Cups, you feel it, they feel it. So it's like, deep down inside, you both know that you will reconcile at some point. But what I feel they urgently want you to know is that they plan to take action here. Like, as in, when you do start communicating again, they are making a real effort to temper down their language, like in terms of how they speak to you, how they communicate with you. I think they have really thought about this very deeply, and they are now much more hyper aware that they can't just be totally blunt all the time. Like, they have to be tender, they have to be sweet, they have to be romantic, right? You know, and that's something that doesn't come as easily to them, even though they feel it in their heart. But they're not good at the verbal aspect of it. They're not good at verbally communicating that. But this is something they want to work on, because they don't want to lose you, because they want to build a life with you. They literally want this 10 of Cups, like, you know, this image with you. Like, they want to move forward, they want a commitment, they want a love that lasts a lifetime with you. So they're thinking, okay, how am I going to change, you know, definitely start being more sophisticated in the way that I speak, right? Like, how can I change my speech to make it more tender, more beautiful, more loving, more kind, right? And so here are their specific messages to you. I kept up a facade to the world, but you always saw past that into my soul. And there's still hope for us if you can take me back. Can you forgive and forget? To see, actually, this is so amazing because this is exactly what I was just saying, right? It's like they have this facade to the world that is all about them being really, really, really kind of like tough, right? Really tough, really blunt. They'll tell you like it is, right? They're not going to hold back. They're not that, it's like what do they call, like the elephant and the china in the china shop, right? I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm full of like symbolism and metaphors today. It's like the elephant in the china shop, right? Like they don't know how to be delicate. But the thing is, again, they're like this big, adorable lug. Like it's like they're big, they're adorable, they have a big personality, they can be really just very sweet as well because they have that heart of gold, but they can also be kind of difficult sometimes as well. So see, they feel that you saw through that facade, that you at least know that they love you so much, that they have a big heart, and that heart beats for you. And see, this is where it's like they really want to come back and they want you to forgive any of these any of these things that they've said to you that were a bit too harsh, a bit too blunt, that may have hurt your feelings, because they really want a reconciliation. And don't be surprised if they start taking action towards that, even like a little, a really little sweet message, just to see where you're at, just to see how you respond, right? Like they may just kind of reach out and try to nudge you a little bit with some sort of a sweet message here, just to get the ball rolling between the two of you again. So here is your final message from Spirit. Sacred space. I find peace, security, and contentment when surrounded by nature's beauty. Oh, so beautiful. Okay, so I feel like Spirit is saying here that it look how beautiful it kind of fits in with fairness, because I feel like this is exactly what you both need here, is that they felt that by being blunt with you, you felt that by them being blunt with you, they weren't being fair to you, right? Like that they have to start behaving in a much more respectful way. They can't just speak to you however which way they want. You're their partner, right? So I feel like that fairness is definitely coming, and what Spirit is saying here is to stay with your peace, right? Be peaceful, be secure, and be content. Get out into nature and try to keep the peace, because it will be an ongoing journey, right? When you do reconcile, when you do come back together, doesn't mean that your love is never going to be blunt again, right? It's hard to change completely those personality traits. So this is where it's like you keeping your peace is going to help the situation a lot, okay? So please do let me know what you thought of this reading. If you would like to have a personal reading with me or order any of the oracle decks that I've created, the links to all of that is in the box below. Also, make sure that if you liked this reading, give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And of course, subscribe. We would love to have you as part of the Live Tarot community. So thank you so much. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. See you on the next video. Hello, my loves, my beautiful group 3 who chose Ostara and fertility. Welcome to your reading. We are answering the question, right? What are some urgent messages from your divine masculine or feminine, your love? What is it that they truly need you to know at this time, which they may not have been able to communicate to you for whatever reason, in terms of you being separated or struggling, right? What do they really want you to know? What are their urgent messages? We have the Moon, we have the 5 of Swords, and we have the 9 of Swords. Wow. Okay, so a lot of heavier energies coming through here from your beloved. They want you to know that they have definitely been going through a dark night of the soul period. in their lives. And I feel that a lot of this has been self-created for them, as in they've really lately been their own worst enemy. I'm not feeling that these are literally like outside situations that have made them be this way. I feel that it's their own internal blocks. There's definitely a lot of resistance and stress and ego related issues that your masculine or feminine, they've been going through at this time. So it's like, you know, with this moon's energy, right, major arcana card here, it tells us that there has definitely been a lack of focus, a lack of direction, definitely a veil of kind of illusion that has come down onto your person. But I do feel that at heart, it's like they mean well, but what happens is that they tend to struggle when things don't go their way. It's like they feel it very deeply and it becomes a bit of an ego battle. So I feel like one really important aspect of their personality that, you know, sometimes we have this, right? Like we have this as part of our core persona, and it's definitely one of those things where it could be a benefit or it could actually work against us. And I feel that there's something here with your love. They are extremely competitive. And oftentimes I feel that this sense of competition has really brought them a lot of achievement. So I feel that your person, your, you know, twin flame or soulmate, they're very successful in many ways, but they're also not successful in a lot of ways. So this is a double-edged sword, right? The Five of Swords is a card of definite instability because it's about the need to win at all costs. It's about the desire to really feel that your ego has been gratified. And it's also the desire to compete with others, but not just to compete, but to win and almost kind of humiliate others in doing so, because you want to feel some sort of, you know, some sort of victory that is deeply psychological. And so I feel that your love has really been struggling with that in their life lately. And often what happens is that they tend to be like this in their career, in their business, right? And I feel like they've always been a bit of an overachiever. So we're dealing with somebody who has been extremely, and it's interesting, the irony here, they've been extremely fertile in their lives. And what I mean by fertile in this capacity is that they have been very good at creating what they want. So whatever success they were looking for, whatever goals that they've had, they are usually successful. They're used to winning, right? And that has gotten them very far in life. But I feel that the price that they've had to pay for this success is not being successful in relationships. So I feel like when it comes to relationships, they tend to fall back into the patterns of this behavior. And so you may notice that while they love you very much, they compete with you sometimes. Like it's like they, you know, this can be the kind of person who sometimes, you know, they want more attention for themselves than for anybody else. Like, you know, they may be a bit more self-centered. They may be a bit more needy when it comes to your attention. Like it's like they want all of your attention. They want to feel like you adore them, but then they struggle to reciprocate or to give that back, right? It's like they feed off of your adoration. They feed off of your love. They want to be put on a pedestal by you. They want to let their successes shine. But the thing is that we don't love somebody just for their successes in life, right? We don't fall in love with them because they won trophies. We don't fall in love with them because, you know, they're really successful or they have a lot of money, right? We fall in love with them because of how they make us feel and how we feel together as a couple when we're together and what connection we have. And so I feel like your person wants you to know that they struggle with that because they're so used to kind of just conquering, right? Like, okay, what's the situation? You know, how do I handle it? How do I win this? So it's almost like when they came into your life, they probably were highly motivated to win you over. You know, they may have wined and dined you, they may have sent you lots of gifts or flowers, or they kind of wanted to be that really cool, charming, successful. Like they tried to win you over by the image rather than the heart. And so they want you to know that they are struggling. They're really struggling because they are not really that good at relationships, right? So I feel that they want to be. They want to be. Okay, so it's like they want to be able to connect with you at a deeper level. I mean, I feel like what they feel is very, like, they're grateful for the fact that you saw something more in them, but they weren't able to really rise up to the potential that you saw in them. So it's like you fell in love with what you saw underneath this competitiveness, what you saw underneath all that success that they have, a lot of that self-confidence that they have. But see, inside, they're very, very vulnerable. They want you to know this. This is another urgent message that they have for you that they're not able to say, is that, you know, I may give off the image of being very successful, very self-confident, very aggressive, very competitive, always out there, like go, go, go. I'm the go-getter. I'm the one who's won all the awards. I'm the one who is always the top of everything. But they are exhausted by this. This is a role that they have been playing for a very long time. And when it comes to their connection, their relationship with you, they are exhausted by it. Like, it's like they cannot keep this up anymore, because deep down inside, they feel really, really bad and really, really vulnerable. And so I feel like right now, if you guys are struggling to connect, if you're having communication issues, or you are in some form of separation, they want you to know that they are absolutely devastated by it. This separation is keeping them up at night, Nine of Swords, okay? They are going around and round in circles in their head as to how they can fix this. They don't know how, because again, they are not good with heart space energy. You know, even though they're very vulnerable deep down inside and they do feel deeply, they have been able to kind of turn that off for so long in order to achieve victory, right? In order to have all the successes that they wanted, in order to achieve the things that they wanted, they really turned off a lot of their heart space energy. And so that is why, like, when you met and when you fell in love, this was something new for them, as in they were used to having relationships, but they were all superficial. They were more based on maybe the other person admiring them for their superficial qualities, right? Like, you know, the relationships they had before were all about, like, oh, you know, they love my success, like they are attracted to me because I'm wealthy or successful, or I'm a go-getter, or like I'm really charismatic and I'm so self-confident and I know what I'm doing. But they never got deeper. They always were at this surface level, right? And so they were used to just winning people over in that way. But you are different, okay? You, for the first time, challenge them to go deeper. You challenge them to open up their heart. And what happened is that sent them veering off into this moon's energy, as in it really confused them. It really sent them into darkness. They felt like they didn't have the solution to this. They felt like, how do I handle somebody who opens up these deep places in my heart that I didn't even know existed or that I had shut down or shut off for so long, right? So you opened up some portals in this person, deep, deep portals, and it sent them into a completely new level of You know, like, what the heck am I going to do? I can't lose her. I can't lose him. But boy, this is stressing me out. So if you have stepped away from each other at this point, they are devastated. They are stressed. They are desperately trying to figure out what to do next, how to fix this. So that's their urgent messages so far. Let's go deeper. What else would they like to say? Wow, look at that self-worth card. Oh, release. Here are specific messages from them to you. See, oh my gosh. Let go of control issues. Wow, that makes sense. Yeah, the path. And this is your final message from Spirit here, which we'll get to at the end. So see, this makes so much sense here now that we have the rest of these cards. Look at this, the path. So see, they are looking for this path right here. I love this. There's a ladder going up and going through this portal. And isn't it amazing? Because didn't I just say, oh my gosh, thank you, Spirit. I just said, you've opened up portals in their heart that they didn't even know that they had. And guys, I swear to you, I have not seen these cards beforehand. I have no idea, right? I do my prayers and my meditation. I ask the question and I choose the cards from the deck, and I literally go by where Spirit leads me, and I don't look at them ahead of time. So this is amazing to me that you have this portal right here, right? You've opened up portals in their heart that they didn't even know that they had, and you've opened up a path, and you've helped them to really start looking at these issues right here in their own life. And this is really lovely because I feel like there's a lot of growth here. So I feel like another urgent message that they have for you, that they want you to know, is that in this separation, they have grown a lot. They are growing. They're asking themselves some of these really important questions because I feel like they had to. If they don't fix this, they know that they're going to lose you, and they don't want to lose you. So I feel like this is another urgent message from them to you. They're saying, look, I'm trying really hard to let go of the control issues that I have here. Allow the situation to unfold naturally, because look at this. This Five of Swords is that perfect, complementary energy to somebody who has issues about wanting to be in control, wanting to win, wanting their ego to be dominant, wanting their ego to be gratified, wanting to feel like they already know the outcome of something because they control it. And so they know now that they cannot approach you in this way. They cannot approach this connection in that way, and they have to let go of those issues. So these are the things that they're working on right now. How do they get true self-esteem and self-worth? How do they get out of getting their self-worth only from achieving something, right? Like, they have so been reliant and dependent upon their own self-esteem and their own self-worth coming from winning, right? Coming from defeating somebody else, from competing with somebody else. They need to figure out how to get out of that energy when it comes to their relationships. I think they know that this may work in business, this may work in career, this may work in those kind of avenues, but they have finally figured out that it's not going to work with you. It just doesn't work that way with love, right? So this is something that they're really working on: values, self-esteem, confidence. Be empowered by valuing yourself. So they're trying to figure out, okay, how can I practice self-worth in a very nurturing and healthy way when it comes to my relationship with you? That's what they want you to know. They are going to be practicing their self-worth in a much more natural way, in a much more loving way that doesn't seek to compete with you, that doesn't seek to dominate over you, that doesn't seek to control you. And they're really trying to release all of that anxiety, right? So because I feel like when they feel that they are not dominating, when they're not in control, when they're not looking to win, it really brings up a lot of anxiety in them with this Nine of Swords. And so I love how these two go together for you guys here, because see, loosen your hold, relax, unwind, release fear, anxiety, and doubt. So this is something that they're really trying to work on. Okay, how can I be vulnerable? How can I really tap into this beautiful portal of love, right, that has opened up for me because I've fallen in love with you, right? So this is what they think now. It's time for me to finally just relax. Stop trying to win, right? Stop trying to put all my energy into this and just relax into the love, right? Feel the love. And so here you have, see, our love was too intense for me to handle, and I needed to break away. And I feel like I don't know who I am anymore. So see, this is, I'm telling you, this connection has opened up a whole new level of understanding for your love, okay? Because they have been relying for so long on this I'm winning, I'm gonna prevail, I'm gonna dominate energy. They have to kind of redefine who they are when it comes to you and their love for you and their relationship with you. So they're working on it, and that is good. They want you to know that they may not know who they are right now when it comes to relationships, but they are definitely on the path to figuring it out, and they want you to know that. They don't want you to lose hope in them. See, it was too intense. The love part of this, the emotional part of this was intense for them because they're used to not using their emotion. They're used to just using their mind. And so this is really good. They're definitely on the path, and they are going to come back. They are definitely going to, they don't want to lose you, but they know that they need to fix this, right? They need to let go of this competitive and dominating spirit. They really do need to just ease and relax into this connection. And here is your final guidance from Spirit. Find your bliss. I am following a path I love and am fully aligned to my soul purpose. So I do feel very much that, and oh, how pretty, look, these two match. I do very much feel that what Spirit is trying to say is that you continue on finding your bliss as this connection comes back into place for you. Make sure that you also don't fall into these very stressful energies, right? Because it can be very stressful right now as the two of you are kind of struggling to come back together. You may be mirroring your partner here with this Nine of Swords, feeling really kind of stressed out and anxious, right? Both of you needing to release some of this anxiety. It's really important. So Spirit is saying continue to also find your own bliss. You know, feel that peace, release the anxiety, and you guys will definitely figure this out and come back together. So please do leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of this. If you'd like to have a personal reading with me or order any of my oracle decks, the links are in the box below. If you like this video, I would love it if you gave me a thumbs up, and of course subscribe and join our amazing family. We would love to have you. So thank you so much to all of you. You know how much I love you guys. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you all on the next video.